this is Dan, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be going over how to properly fly and utilize the attack helicopter in Battlefield 6. We'll start off with kind of a basic maneuvering here. I'll show you here how I've got my control set up. I do play on PC, since Battlefield lets you run multiple inputs at once. I do run a controller. That's basically how I would run it. Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, so it's just what's familiar to me, and I find it easier. It avoids all that pilot assist, which I find extremely difficult to utilize, or at least fly properly without getting shot down. But anyways, here's my setup. Like I said, out on Xbox controller here. That's what's easiest for me. Highly recommend that. Here's a portal map, just a heli practice map, so you can kind of get a feel for it without getting blown up. Basically, the bots can't damage you, so you can practice all your maneuvers flying around and whatnot to your heart's content. Yeah, that was one missile, and most of those missiles. Like I said, I'm not the best, but I have been flying for a little bit, but I think I'm gonna whiff this one too. Like I said, not a pro. Oh, with those pistols too. But anyways, with the attack helicopter, you always want to stay on the move. I see a lot of people when they play the attack helicopter, they'll hover over an objective, or like here, get down extremely low for infantry, which is great. It makes it easier to hit them. But I feel like in this game, especially with how dangerous they've made the RPG, that I die more to random RPGs than I die to stingers or jets, helicopters, anything else. Especially now that they fixed that MR missile bug. I don't die to that every 5 seconds, so that's nice. But RPGs are still a constant threat, so I'm not a big firm believer in getting extremely low to the ground. But at the same time, you can't get too high because then you become a target for stingers and tanks and everything else. Also, a big silhouette for jets too. It's kind of getting the feel here. And then here at the end of the video, I do have a little bit of gameplay on Manhattan Bridge. Just kind of showing that in action. And with the tow missile, I routinely take out jets and helicopters. So I mean, I highly recommend running heavy rockets because you can take out groups of infantry as well as tanks. Generally, I'll fire a tow missile, smack a jet every now and then. But anyways, I'll fire a tow missile at a tank and then fire 4 of the heavy rockets, and most of the time that's enough to take them out. You can't snipe with the rockets if you take a little bit of practice, as you can see there. But yeah, focus on more, instead of loitering over an area, focus more on like kind of the rapid, quick, just get in, get out, kill your target, and go. I tend to retreat back to the airfield. I'll stay long enough to blow up, or to use all 8 of my rockets, and then head back to the airfield, reload, and then go back out again. And not to try to hover over an area too long though, just because it does make you a big target. And as the match goes on and you start getting a bunch of kills, more stingers, more rockets. But anyways, this is on Manhattan Bridge. No longer against bots, actual people. So as you'll see here, early on in the game, I'm kind of more or less unopposed. But as the match goes on and the kills start racking up, the enemy starts getting more and more irritated. So they'll start getting more stinger locks and RPGs, just guys focused out to kill you than what you normally would. On this map, like I said, I try not to get too low to the ground. I see a lot of guys who'll fly in between the buildings, almost street level with the attack heli, and while it looks cool, especially if you're the gunner, a few feet off the ground, it makes you an extremely easy target for those RPGs, since they're basically laser beams in this game. So I try to stay as mobile as possible, weaving in and out of the buildings, try to create as little of a target for as short amount of time as possible, because In this game, these guys don't need much, and they'll shoot you down. And here, after I terrorize the map for a little bit, you'll see just what I mean with these RPGs and their accuracy. This is not skilled helicopter gameplay right here. My gunner is the entire reason I survived that. He's a random too, and he absolutely saved the day. Whiff. Whiff, whiff. And gunner saves the day. I'm sure as a gunner, people probably hate flying for me, or flying with me, just because I do move kind of around kind of quick. I know when I end up in the gunner seat, a lot of guys fly a little bit slower and kind of line up a lot of shots for the gunner. But I think that as the pilot, your most important job is to keep the helicopter alive, and the way you do that is keep it moving. So I spend a lot of time just rapid strafing. Unfortunately, my gunner doesn't hit him in the past. I don't hit him in the past, and it's kind of how it is. That's a good example of what not to do, loitering. Luckily that was over my spawn, but hovering in place is just a big shoot me sign, especially on maps where you've got to worry about jets and tanks and everything else, other helicopters as well, especially when you can't aim like me. But that's why it's crucial to have a solid gunner too. Usually when I play, I do have one of my friends on, and it makes a big difference. And on this map in particular, when it comes to attack helicopters, I do try to stay as aggressive as possible, kind of paying attention to how long I mean, you should do it on any map, but paying attention to how long they've been down, because that's really your biggest threat on this map, that and RPGs. So paying attention to how long they've been down makes it so you can hopefully get to them before they surprise you and shoot you down. But sometimes you get so locked into what you're doing, and all of a sudden you got a attack helicopter shooting you down from behind. And as far as like other loadouts, I don't run anything other than the heavy rockets. I do, or sorry, not heavy rockets. Yeah, I do target interference, emergency repairs with the heavy warheads or whatever. Whatever one gets you the 4 heavy rockets, man. It's been a long Monday already. But anyways, I run that. I don't like the whatever the other one is, heavy. I think it's the heavy warheads that get you the extra rocket. It makes this helicopter fly like a freaking tank. And like I said, you want to stay mobile, and I feel like it turns it from something that's semi-maneuverable to just a lead sled. And I mean, I don't know, it just doesn't fit my style, but it does allow you to do more damage and blow vehicles up a little bit quicker, so to each their own. But I prefer to be able to clear my marker sooner and avoid rockets, so that's just what works for me. And then I don't prefer the AA rockets myself, just because half the time I feel like they flare, and I get more kills just like that using my actual rockets as opposed to using the AA missiles. But every now and then, when my aim's not absolutely horrible, I'll get a lucky kill or two with the tow missile too. But that also allows you to engage not only infantry and air, but you can also take down tanks pretty well. Same with IFVs. I mean, you hit them with that tow missile and one barrage of rockets for the most part, and they're gone. As you see, I kind of, most maps, this one in particular, I kind of fly kind of routes. I don't want to attack from the same direction, because that's where you start getting guys predicting where you're coming from. They start looking for with the RPGs and stuff like that, which I believe happens right here. So that's a great example. Like, I was up high, but clearly not high enough. And like I said, people don't miss. I'm not that lucky. I feel like I land one in every 5 RPGs, but sometimes I'll plan a match and get shot down 4 or 5 times by the same dude. So I don't know if DICE wants to do something about the accuracy of RPGs. That'd be fantastic. But at the same time, helicopters are pretty overpowered, so I understand. This isn't the full match. I had a little bit going on here at this day, so I didn't stay and record it to the end. But this just gives you kind of a good example of practical use of the attack helicopter. Like I said, the controls up there at the beginning, those are what works for me. I think with the keyboard, and like I've been an Xbox gamer my whole life, so maybe that's part of it. But I have a lot of difficulties trying to control it with the keyboard. So. If you are struggling, it is a nice thing to give it a shot, especially, like I said, because the game does allow you to have both inputs simultaneously, so you can switch between the two, you know, as you see fit. So. But as we come here to the end of the video, if you did like this video, please subscribe. It does help me continue to be able to make videos like this one. Also like and share this video. Help get it out there and about. I do try to post regularly, several times a week if I can, between shorts and regular long form videos. But anyways, that's where I'm gonna hop off and allow you to finish the rest of the video here. And thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day.
Outside the combat area. Return ASAP.